Learn Devon and Reaching for Independence have worked together on the Ability Not Disability scheme, where we've had access to Learn Devon's skills, experience and facilities, and in turn Learn Devon have been able to support prospective clients to transition back to working with us by finding employers directly together.
The Reaching for Independence team is here to empower people and to help them move on with their lives. It is meant for anybody that is needing support from our team.
My name's Elaine. I work at the Dolphin Preschool and Nursery as a nursery assistant. I always wanted to work with children, little ones who are deaf and hard of hearing, that might not necessarily like their hearing aids or their Bahas or their cochlear implants, because they see me wearing it. They're seeing that it's not so bad.
There have been benefits for everybody. Elaine successfully gained the pre-apprenticeship and potentially will go on to the level 2 apprenticeship in early years practice, and we've benefited from her knowledge and experience with Makaton. We have a clear stages of how we're going to aid, support her and develop Elaine.
Elaine was referred to me to support her to find employment. We updated her CV, we did lots of role play, questions to ask. Then we came to the interview. She was professional, she had this courage, she blossomed.
My name's Luke and I am the receptionist and administrative officer at the Northern Care Trust. Just coming to work, I feel like it's given me a purpose in life, but also it's quite nice because of what I do in terms of like looking at grants and some projects that we're applying for. You can actually see the people that it's going to benefit.
Luke has fitted in from the get-go, really. Reaching for Independence were involved with us right from the beginning. They got us to think about the space that they would be working in and what adaptations we would need to make early on. Then they had a better idea of the type of person that they could refer on to us.
The work that Reaching for Independence do with a client goes beyond just that one job. It provides a whole toolkit of reaching out for other roles in the future and other opportunities.
Key words I use is, if you think small, you're going to stay small. If you think big, you're going to achieve.